Act like you love me, please." The words trembled from her lips like a whisper caught in the storm. The crowded ballroom fell silent for a heartbeat. Every eye turned toward her, the poor girl in a simple dress, standing before her ex and his new fiancé, clutching the arm of the cold, untouchable billionaire CEO who had just walked in. If you're watching this right now, wait till the end, because what happens next will break your heart, then rebuild it stronger than ever. And if you believe love isn't about wealth but about courage, hit that like button, because this story is about how a single desperate plea changed two lives forever. Maya Khan had never belonged in places like this. Not anymore. 2 years ago, she'd been engaged to Ayan Malik, her college sweetheart. They had dreamed of a future together, small apartment, shared coffee, maybe even a startup one day. But when Maya's father fell ill and debt swallowed their savings, Ayan changed. He started seeing her not as his future but as his burden. One rainy evening, he handed her an envelope. "You're holding me back, Maya. I'm sorry." Now he was here, dressed in a designer tuxedo, holding hands with the daughter of a famous hotel magnate. The engagement party glittered with gold chandeliers, champagne laughter, and people who never looked twice at someone like Maya. She wasn't even supposed to be here, just a struggling interior assistant sent by her company to deliver the final event touches. But fate doesn't ask permission before it spins the wheel. When she turned and saw Ayan's eyes on her, mocking, pitying, she froze. His fiancé leaned close and whispered something with a smirk. Maya felt her chest tighten. Humiliation burned her cheeks. She wanted to run, but then something happened. The tall, silent man everyone was whispering about, Arman Zafar, the CEO of Zafar Industries, stepped into the ballroom. The crowd parted for him. Billionaire. Genius. Ruthless. The man who never smiled. He was the client funding the very project Maya's company had worked on. She had seen him once, across a boardroom table, but never spoken to him. And then, in a blur of panic and heartbreak, Maya did the unthinkable. She walked right up to him, eyes brimming with tears, and whispered, "Please, act like you love me. Just for tonight." The room went still. Arman's piercing eyes studied her for a moment, confusion, curiosity, and then something else, compassion, maybe. Without a word, he slid an arm around her waist and said in a deep, steady voice that cut through the silence, "Of course I love her. Is there a problem with that?" Gasps rippled through the crowd. Ayan's face turned pale. Maya couldn't breathe. For a moment, she actually believed it, believed the warmth in his voice, the protective grip of his hand, the shield he became in front of everyone who had once looked down on her. Later that night, in the quiet corner of the terrace, she stammered an apology. "I'm sorry, I just didn't want them to see me as nothing." Arman didn't scold her. He simply looked at her and said, "You don't need to borrow someone else's strength, Maya. You have your own." But fate wasn't done weaving them together. Days passed, and somehow, their paths kept crossing. Arman had requested Maya's design team to handle the interiors of his company's new charity headquarters, a center for underprivileged youth. Every time she presented ideas, he listened. Not like a CEO listening to an employee, but like a man seeing something rare. Slowly, walls began to crumble. Maya saw the man behind the empire, the son who had lost his mother young, the boy who had grown up proving his worth through achievements rather than affection. And Arman saw in her something he had long forgotten, warmth without motive, kindness without condition. But the world noticed too. Rumors spread. The CEO and the broke designer. The tabloids laughed. Ayan came crawling back, pretending concern. "He's just using you, Maya. Don't fool yourself." Then one night, everything shattered. A leaked photo, Maya and Arman together, smiling at a construction site. The board demanded Arman step back from the charity project or risk his investors' confidence. Maya overheard one of his executives say, "She's ruining his reputation." Tears burned her eyes. She walked into his office, heartbreaking, and said quietly, "You don't need to protect me anymore. I'll resign." Arman stood, anger flashing in his eyes. "You think I helped you out of pity? You helped me because I begged you," she whispered. "No, Maya. I helped you because that night, you reminded me what real courage looks like." But she left anyway, believing she'd done the right thing. Weeks passed. Her tiny apartment felt colder. Her sketchbooks gathered dust. One evening, she got a call from the same charity center. They wanted her back for the grand opening. Confused but curious, she went. As she stepped inside, her heart stopped. The entire lobby was filled with her designs, every color, every curve exactly how she'd imagined. On the center wall was a quote, carved into marble. "Act like you love me, because sometimes, that's how love begins." And then she saw him. Armin, standing before a crowd of reporters, announcing the launch. When he spotted her, his voice softened. "She taught me something I'll never forget. Love isn't an act. It's a choice, one you make even when it's inconvenient, even when the world laughs at you." He walked toward her, ignoring the cameras. "So, Maya," he said quietly, eyes shining, "this time I won't act. I do love you. Not for the world to see, but for you to believe."